So I'll do a story time about this, but basically during the summer I went to Africa, and yeah, I just dropped that, right? And during my travels, when we stayed at a hotel, I just put on a movie that was on like one of the TV shows where it's like a movie channel, so they just keep playing different movies. So one of the movies was Mad Max Furiosa. I've seen this movie, like their trailers, I think a couple years before, because it's not a very old movie, it's like a pretty recent movie in the series, and it stars the girl from like the chess series. Sorry if you can hear my boyfriend yelling in the background to our cat. I feel like I'm so blurry for some reason. But it's I can't remember her name, you guys. I don't know why. Basically, it's about, and I haven't seen any of the other Mad Max series, so I actually like this movie. It was very, very long. I did fall asleep, but then they were showing it again like the next day, so I kind of like caught up to it. So I fell asleep on some of the parts, and then I woke up, I saw the ending, and then on the plane back, coming back home, I kind of watched the middle of it, so it was in parts. It could have been a better experience if I didn't fall asleep, but it was a very, very long movie, so know that before you go into it. It's pretty like time commitment. You can definitely do it in parts because it's set in parts. Like there's like titles between each part, so you literally could watch it in parts. But it is like following the Mad Max universe. So I don't know if you watched the other series. Let me know what you thought about them, if I should watch them. But this one particularly follows a girl who gets separated from her mom when she was a child, and she has to live with this like bad character, like the antagonist of the movie, who turns out to be not the most bad guy of the bad guys that we encounter. But basically this guy steals, like, spoilers ahead, this guy kills the girl's mother, steals her, like the little girl, and then starts twist of the girl like being part of the bad guy, but like there was nothing else that was interesting about the plot. Like him having that special condition is cool, and going on this thing like to find her is okay, but like he could have just gone to the police and it would have been much better for everybody. Because I was very satisfied with the ending, and I just felt like it was a bit pointless. It was like, oh, some guy wanted to make it just for fun, you know what I mean? Like the director just wanted to make it just for fun, which is fine, but like I think there should be some sort of point. Like I think the story could have been better, but so I'd give it like a 5 out of 10. I know I'm a little bit harsh, but that's what I feel. Okay, I watched 28 Weeks Later. I also watched 28 Days Later. So 28 Days Later is the first of this 3-part series so far. 28 Weeks Later is the second, and then there was another one which came out recently with Aaron Taylor Johnson and other famous people. So that's why I was like, oh, okay, I should go back and watch the original movies. I would say like the original movie was good, and it was like scary. The second one was okay. I don't know how the third one is. I haven't watched that yet. I don't know if it's on streaming platforms, because I didn't make it to the cinemas to watch that on time. It's a zombie movie. I really love zombie stuff, so if you have any recommendations on that, like I watched the entirety of The Walking Dead. I think I talked about it before, but if I have not, that was also a confusing ending. Like I invested so much time in watching that series in particular, and I was like, this ending is so unsatisfying, like what the hell. And like all the characters, like some of the characters that they take away are like one of the best ones, and then whatever you have left is like the crumbs of the, and I don't want to, it's not the actor's fault at all, but you know, so yeah, I really love zombie stuff. So 28 Days Later has Cillian Murphy, if you want to see a young, hot Cillian Murphy. He basically wakes up in a hospital and he's like, oh my god, like the whole world is gone dark. And then he tries to find his his home, his parents. There's like nobody at the house. He kind of loses it, obviously. Along the way, he meets people that explain what's going on, and then it's like same concept as The Walking Dead, if you're familiar. Like they're just trying to survive and make it to the next day. In this movie, the zombies work a little differently than in other movies. So in The Walking Dead, you'll like get bitten and then it will take hours before you turn into one, or you could, chop your arm off if it's your arm or your leg, and then if you do it, fast enough, the virus doesn't spread and you're basically kind of saved. There's some things around it, I guess, in that universe, but in this one, literally a drop of this zombies and infected people's blood, it touches anything, like your eye, your mouth, you breathe, like you will turn into a zombie in 5 seconds instantly. And they are fast. They are so much faster than The Walking Dead, and they don't get this like sloth vibe. Like once they haven't fed enough, in The Walking Dead, they're like kind of very slow, and you could probably get around them if you cover yourself in their like scent, because some people did that. And to be honest, during the series, I was thinking, why didn't more people use this technique to go unnoticed? Because in Fear the Walking Dead, like Frank Delaney's character, which I loved, and I was very sad with what they did to his character, but he used to cover himself in the zombie sacrifices herself, like kills herself almost, and then one more person, and it was just like insane watching like one by one these people just, oh my god. But if the little girl like didn't panic, you know, it would have been fine. But as long as you don't panic, I feel like this can increase your survival so much, and they didn't use that. Anyway, bad side tangent. But these zombies in 28 weeks later, days later, whatever, they're very fast. I don't really remember, like, the first one ended where they basically found a place that doesn't have the zombies, and they saw a plane or something like that, and they made a sign. Very open ending. And then the second one, it was basically like, and this place takes place in England, so it's kind of like the infection is all over to England, like the island of England, and it's not like everywhere in the world. However, like, you know, they got rid of the virus on the second one, but when they brought the test subjects, the humans that are not infected, back to the country to kind of test if they can still like live there, and you know, have a trial run before bringing everybody else in, because like basically whoever lived from the first movie got sent to America, because of course America has to save the day. You cannot not have that. It will not be any other country. Okay, people are not gonna be like, oh yeah, New Zealand saves the day, or like Finland saved the day. No, it has to be America. So like they came back from the USA, this family, and I really like the twist there, like what the children like learned. And I don't know if you want me to spoil it or not, but the children basically learned that their dad is not as he seems to be, that he's been lying for years about their mom and all this. And basically the kids, they lost their mother, and when they come back to England, and their dad is like the scientist, so that's why they're like all reunited, but mom is not there. So the kids are like, well, where's mom? The dad is like, well, she's gone, and the kids can't live with that fact, so they go back home and discover that mom is very much alive, but she's not herself. And then at some point they discover that the dad was lying, that like he, you know, when they see their mom, they realize like their dad was lying, that he left her to die there and get eaten basically, but she didn't. I don't remember how this ended. I think the infection like spreads to a lot of people. There was some stupid stuff that was going on, like why did the dad go see the infected mom without any protection? And I don't know, the mom got her revenge. I'm happy about that, but besides that, like some questionable things were happening. And then they escaped with someone like towards the end, and it was okay, but like yeah. And then the next one, I don't know. So I'd give this series like 5. opinion, but it's called Winter, Spring, Summer, or Fall. You could have just called it 4 seasons. Winter, Spring, Summer, or Fall. Basically, I would give this like a 4. I don't know. It was fine, but it was like frustrating. It was really annoying at times. I think the acting was fine. It was just the plot. I didn't like the story. It's like a coming of age romance, like 2 teenagers in love, and like Jenna's character is like this studious girl who doesn't want to date him at the start, but then basically is convinced to date him and they fall in love, but then she changes her personality and she's like more outgoing, and he's like doesn't like that because he's all different, and she gets all, I don't like you, like you're trying to change me. I don't know, it was like getting toxic, and then like they kind of like find their way back to each other. And then the name of the movie just basically reflects the chapters that they told the story in. So they just basically divided into seasons, and then they showed a couple of like scenes, a couple of like moments that happened each season. So like in the winter they did this, in the summer they did this, and they had like the 4th of July where she literally went insane. Like she was low-key becoming an alcoholic, high-key, and got in a car and like crashed it. Yeah, it was a wild ride. I was like, I didn't know where this movie was going to go. I thought it was going to be like a sweet little romance. I'm pretty sure that like it ended in a happy way. I would say it's a 4 out of 10. I wouldn't watch it again. But it wasn't as bad as I make it seem. Then I watched Sing Sing, another one of my plain movies. Sing Sing, like completely different to all of these other things that I talked about, and it was about an inmate in a correctional facility. It revolved mainly around the character that Coleman Domingo was playing, and I can't like remember. I'm trying to remember like the main message and like the key themes of this movie because I was kind of sleepy when I watched it, but I really enjoyed it. It's like it was very emotional. This guy who has been in this prison for years and years, he kept appealing this sentence because he didn't actually commit the crime, and he's just been there, and he's been creating this community, a little theater group, and basically they put on a production every few weeks, every month or something. They basically work towards this play, and when they're doing that they get a break from the prison life and I guess their inner thoughts, like their worries and stuff. It's very nice to see all these like guys do art and like be in a theater and express themselves and try to work through their issues through that, and it's like their safe space, and how much like it meant to them. And then there's like a new person that joins in who kind of like shifts the dynamic, and Coleman's character is like not very happy about that, and it's very interesting. It ends in a nice way. It's very sweet. I would recommend you watch it. I would say I would give it like 7.5, maybe an 8. I would watch it again just to see, like, just to remember it a bit better, and like there's probably like different things that you could And I did a rewatch of. I'll keep that for the last one because I don't remember this one. It's called A Real Pain. This movie I saw on Disney Plus. A Real Pain. It's about two cousins who go to a country and do a tour, like of the historical things. They go on a tour with a group, and it's a comedy. And this like one of the cousins is like super depressed, and the other one has his shit together, and he has a family and like a child and all that. But the other one doesn't, and they're also going through like family bereavement or something. But yeah, it was basically about, I don't know, I think they were kind of like judging each other about like how is your life so shit, like my life's so busy and I have all these things to deal with, like you just sit on your ass and you don't do anything, like why are you so sad? And the other one they didn't get each other's perspectives, and one of the characters was really annoying, but it was good, but I don't know if it like hit everything. I'm not sure, like it's just somewhere in the middle, like I would say like a 6 out of 10. I would definitely not, it's not one of my favorites at all, like it's not at the top, but the acting was good. Yeah, I would say like if you like a mid-paced, it was not very fast-paced, it was like dry, sarcastic kind of humor, I think. But yeah, it's certainly interesting. I haven't seen anything like it. They were just arguing the whole movie. Yeah. And then yeah, I did a rewatch of Nerve. If you know Nerve, you know Nerve, and you were part of the cool kids club on Tumblr back in the day. It's a movie with, I forgot her name. I was trying to remember it earlier, but it's Julia Roberts. Is that her niece or something? Emma Roberts, yeah, Emma Roberts, and Dave Franco. He's so good looking in this movie. They're both. I've watched this movie so many times because I had it like pirated, and I had a copy of it on my laptop for years. I just had it, and whenever I didn't have internet, when I was in school, like this was years ago, you guys, I would just watch it because I could just rewatch it over and over again. So this was one of the movies that I did that with. And then I also had Molly's Game, which I love that movie. It's a movie about poker, and I watched that over and over and over again. Like I'm never going to be sick of watching those two movies. Especially Molly's Game is just so well made, in my opinion. It's like one of my favorite movies, and Nerve is like one of those movies, and it's basically about this like game where I could totally see it being Do you like Mad